Hello, and it's Friday, and someone's just started a car as I started my video. Brilliant. Yeah, all positive. Friday, time to go out. Weekend is here, and all that sort of stuff that people usually say on these videos and things. Yeah, this is my second video of the day, but I took my gilet off, so I would and stood in front of the window, so it would look different. Yeah. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and like as well. That's what people on YouTube say, isn't it? Like it. Yeah, watch enough Russell Brand videos to know the score. Okay, so today, this second video is a Andre Bielecki special. So Andre, I hope I'm saying that name right. I've known the guy for years. I've never really had to say his name out loud, his second name out loud. I was just like, hey, Andre, how you doing? It's Polish. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Right. So Andre asks, what do you think of the concept of a struggling artist? Does the artist have to struggle to create great art? It's like a two-part question. So me personally, I struggle a lot. You have to make sacrifices. Yeah, so essentially I've got blind spots in my eye, which are caused by exposure to type of plastic. I've got nerve damage, which is due to exposure to another type of plastic. Well, I've not been diagnosed with it, but when I'm using it, my arm starts twitching like that, so it can't be great. Yeah, so I've resolved myself to the fact I ain't living till 100. But, you know, it is what I do. It is who I am. You know, I've tried other things, and that's a struggle. I've got to be painting. I've got to be in the studio. I've got to be doing stuff like that. You essentially have to sacrifice certain parts of grown-up life, a regular income. You don't have to, but some people get lucky. But, you know, it affects your relationships, which always seem to end badly. Because you're lacking stability. You know, I wouldn't recommend being an artist to anybody as a full-time occupation. But if it's in you, you know what I mean. You've just got to do it, right? And that's the struggle, okay? And yeah, there's a lot of struggle involved. I don't think the notion of the struggling artist makes you any better of a painter, but if it's something that's within you, you're going to struggle. It's going to be there. And you can't, if you try and fight it, it's worse than just doing what you were sort of destined to do, almost, in my belief. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there with, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there with much better explanations. And I'm sure there's plenty of great artists that don't struggle at all and they just have it fine. But me personally, yeah, it takes a heavy toll. Okay, so that's my answer to the first two-part question. And the second question is, what are the best ways for young, talented artists to sell their work? Well, just because you're young doesn't necessarily mean you're talented, and just because you're talented doesn't necessarily mean you're young. I think it's difficult, and it's different for everybody. I mean, if you're talented, generally, you'll find people to invest in the outcome, invest in what you're doing. And if you've got art's a strange one, because it doesn't necessarily mean those people that are talented will be successful, and it doesn't necessarily mean people that aren't talented won't be successful. You can get lucky. There can be a niche. It can just be written in the stars. I think something that's worked for me very well is when you get into shows, when you get picked up for things, obviously, you know, make sure there's plenty of social media and plenty of places for people to actually see your artwork. But what works best for me is trying to maintain a reasonable amount of professionalism when you're working with other artists and you're working with organizations. be reliable. When you say you're going to turn up. Make sure your bills are paid. Make sure your dues are taken care of. And because if you're not like that, and I know a lot of artists who just swan in, well, I've seen them come and go. They swan in. Oh yeah, I'm amazing. I don't actually have to do the hard work of setting up, liaise with other artists that I'm exhibiting with, liaise with the organisation. My talent will carry me forward, etc., etc. Those guys tend to just disappear, and you never see them again. All of the artists that I know that are successful really work hard and actually put a lot of time and effort into stuff. And it's not just the artwork, it's all the other stuff you don't see. It's, building the shows up, actually making the sales, conversing with customers. These things are of paramount importance. So there's a lot of hard work that goes into doing it that people don't necessarily see or appreciate. And you've got to be very thick-skinned as well. Every time you get rejected, plow forward, just keep fighting. And if it's in you, you can't really give up. As I said before, that's your only option, basically. Give up on life, but go and get a job at a supermarket and then shoot yourself. Well, I'm not telling people to shoot themselves, but they probably would, because it's like a need. You've got to. It's something like from the soul that basically just propels you forward. So I hope that's been informative and useful. Oh, and I'd just like to make a mention, because I always say that, I went climbing this morning, and I did go climbing this morning. Awesome Walls in Stoke is about the most fun thing you can do in Stoke if you're not into monkey dust. So I go to Awesome Walls, and they're brilliant. Okay, I hope that's been informative, and have a great weekend. Bye.